We've come to my favourite part of the show, and a question that we ask everybody. Maggie K De Monde, do you have a ghost story?
Oh my goodness, I actually do.
Yes! The last 4 guests haven't had one.
I have a really spooky one, actually.
Right, we're ready. Go for it.
Okay, all right. So, way back, we were recording, Swansway recording, in a studio in Soho called Trodden.
Know it.
And we were recording Illuminations, which has a chorus, Feeling Total Pleasure. It's one of my favourite off the Swansway album. Mm-hmm. And I was down in this sort of, I won't call it a pit, but the recording booth was downstairs, and the guys, in the control booth and everything, and the mixing desk and stuff, were all upstairs. So I could look up and see them, and I could see them through glass. I was singing Feeling Total Pleasure. And then I just got this awful, it was just an awful, awful feeling. And it was such a bad energy, such a bad vibe. You could have cut it with a knife, the bad energy. And I screamed, and I just said, guys, I get me out of here, and I was crying and everything, So, then we stayed overnight somewhere in London, and the next day I woke up, and I was a bit sick, and it was only clear liquid that came out, and I noticed on my arm was this kind of little red mark. It was weird. So I sort of forgot about it. And anyway, several months later, I was recording at Wessex Studios. It was a really great studio. There were always really interesting people there. And I was actually chatting with a guy from another band, and I wish I could remember the name of the band. They were kind of one of the big indie gothy bands at the time. And we were sitting chatting about different studios we were working in. And I was telling him, I said, we were working at Trodden. And I said, oh my God, that place really freaked me out. And he just sat there and he just nodded. And he went, yeah. I went, what? And he went, well, you know what that place was, don't you? Before it was a studio. I went, no. He said, it was a burial ground for plague victims.